Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something important. Are you letting the hours of your life drift by? Or are you directing them with intention? See, I learned a long time ago, you don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to that hour. And the truth is, if you don't start respecting your time, nobody else will. So let's talk about reclaiming it. Let's talk about how to take it back from distractions, from doubts, from people who want to write your schedule for you. You've got to learn the power of no. Say no to the things that steal your focus. Say no to the habits that rob you of energy. Say no to the drama, the noise, the endless scrolling, the unimportant. Why? So you can say yes to your future, yes to your dreams, yes to your potential. You see, success is not a mystery. It's a system. If you want a better future, you need to make better daily decisions. Start small. Schedule your priorities. Don't let your calendar be filled by default. Fill it with purpose. Set aside time to grow, time to plan, time to rest, and time to work like your future depends on it. Because it does. Every hour you invest in yourself multiplies. Read the books, build the skills, practice the discipline. The more valuable you become, the more valuable your time becomes. And here's the best part. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to start today with one good decision, one clear commitment, 1 hour reclaimed. Because if you don't design your future, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And do you know what they've got planned for you? Not much. So reclaim your time. It's yours. And once you do that, you'll have something even more powerful. The ability to create your future. Let's get to work. Time is the one resource that no man or woman can ever get more of. You can make more money. You can earn more respect. You can gain more possessions. But you can never get more time. It's the great equalizer. Everyone, regardless of wealth, status, or background, has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between success and failure often comes down to how those hours are used. Think about it. If you lose $1, you can earn it back. But if you lose an hour, that hour is gone forever. It's a limited, non-renewable resource. That hour cannot be banked, saved, or borrowed. Once it passes, it's history. So the very first lesson to understand is that time is far more valuable than money. The problem is most people don't see it that way. Most people work hard to earn money, thinking that more money will solve their problems. And money is important. Money can provide comforts, security, and opportunity. But if you sacrifice your time chasing money without regard for how you spend your hours, you are likely to end up with a lot of money, but no life to enjoy it. The irony is real. People buy things to save time, but then spend their entire time working to pay for those things. Time is life itself. When you waste time, you are wasting pieces of your life. And the real tragedy is not just losing time, but losing it without realizing its value until it's too late. When you look back over your life, it's not the money you'll remember most. It's the moments, the experiences, and the relationships you built with that time. So how do you reclaim time and treat it as the precious asset it truly is? The first step is to become aware of how you're spending your time. Start tracking your daily activities. Most people underestimate how much time they lose to distractions like social media, endless emails, unproductive meetings, or simply drifting without purpose. When you write down where your time goes, you expose the truth. Awareness is the beginning of change. Next, you have to guard your time like it's the most valuable thing you own. Imagine your time as currency and spend it only on things that bring you closer to your goals, growth, and happiness. This means learning to say no to things that waste your hours or pull you away from your priorities. Saying no is not easy, but it's necessary. Every yes you say to distractions or trivial matters is a no to your future success. Understand this. People who have mastered their time have mastered their lives. When you value your time, you make decisions with purpose. You don't procrastinate. You don't waste moments waiting for motivation to strike. Instead, you act with intention, because you know that each hour is a building block of your future. Another important truth is that time, when invested wisely, compounds just like money. Think of the time you spend learning a new skill, improving your health, or nurturing relationships. At first, it might seem like a small investment, but over days, months, and years, the results grow exponentially. The work you put in today can pay dividends for a lifetime. This is the power of investing time, not spending it recklessly. Consider the stories of successful people you admire. They didn't become who they are by chance. They made a conscious decision to manage their time with discipline and focus. They carved out hours in their day to read, to practice, to plan, and to rest. They understood that time is the soil in which success grows. But here's the catch. Time management isn't about cramming every minute with activity. It's about aligning your time with your highest values and goals. It's about quality, not just quantity. It's about creating space to think, dream, and innovate. If you fill your time with busy work, you may feel productive, but you won't move forward in a meaningful way. So how do you start reclaiming your time? Start by identifying your biggest time waster. Is it excessive TV watching, constantly checking your phone, or maybe it's simply a lack of planning that causes you to drift through your day? Once you recognize these traps, replace them with focused, intentional habits. Plan your day the night before. Set clear priorities. Use tools like calendars or timers to keep yourself on track. Remember, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't often boils down to this simple truth. Successful people value time like a precious jewel. They don't waste it on meaningless activities or excuses. Instead, they protect it fiercely and invest it carefully, knowing that time is the seed of every achievement. In closing, think about the legacy you want to leave. It's not the money or possessions. It's how you spent your time. Did you spend it living purposefully? Did you invest it in relationships, in learning, in experiences that enriched your life? Or did you let it slip away unnoticed? Reclaim your time. Respect it. Protect it. Use it wisely. Because when you do, you create a future full of possibility and fulfillment. And that, my friend, is worth more than all the money in the world. You are the architect of your future. That's not just a nice phrase. It's a powerful truth that every person must understand if they want to take control of their life and create something meaningful. Too often, people live as if their future is something that just happens to them, as if they are passengers on a train with no control over where it goes. But the reality is quite different. Your future is not a random event, or it's the result of the decisions, habits, and actions you take every single day. Just like an architect who designs a building, you design your future through your choices today. Imagine an architect sitting at their drafting table. They don't start building without a clear plan. They carefully sketch every detail, from the foundation to the roof, anticipating challenges and envisioning the final structure. Your life works the same way. Without a plan, without clear decisions about what you want, you leave your future to chance. And chance is rarely kind to those who don't plan. The seeds of your future are planted today, right now, with the decisions you make. Every choice you make is like putting a brick in the foundation of your life. What you do daily, how you spend your time, the habits you cultivate, all of these are the materials with which you build your future. If you want a strong, beautiful future, you must use strong, positive habits as your building blocks. But here's the thing. Most people underestimate the power they have. They think their circumstances, their background, or external events dictate their future. That's a limiting belief. Yes, circumstances may influence your starting point, but they do not determine your destination. The great truth is that your attitude, your decisions, and your commitment can overcome nearly any obstacle. Think about some of the most successful people in history. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They didn't blame their upbringing or wait for luck. They took responsibility for their lives and designed their futures intentionally. They set goals, created plans, and worked every day to bring those plans to life. They understood that if you want a better future, you must be willing to work for it today. Being the architect of your future means embracing personal responsibility. It means recognizing that your life is in your hand. You can choose to complain about your situation, or you can choose to act and change it. The choice is yours. No one else can live your life for you, and no one else can build your future. It starts with you. One of the most important tools an architect has is a blueprint. Without a blueprint, the building will be shaky or incomplete. In the same way, you need a clear vision for your life, a detailed picture of where you want to go. This vision acts like a blueprint, guiding your decisions and keeping you focused. When challenges arise, your vision reminds you why you started and helps you stay on course. But a vision without action is just a dream. The architect not only designs, but also supervises the construction, day in and day out. You must take consistent, purposeful action to turn your vision into reality. It's the small daily steps that add up to major achievements over time. The key is persistence. There will be setbacks and obstacles, but the architect doesn't give up because they know the importance of the final structure. Another important aspect of being the architect of your futures is understanding that growth is part of the process. Just as an architect learns new techniques and adapts to new challenges, you must be committed to personal growth. The skills, knowledge, and mindset you cultivate today will shape the opportunities you can create tomorrow. Never stop learning or improving yourself. Sometimes people hesitate to design their future because they fear failure, but failure is simply feedback. It's part of the process, and every successful architect has faced mistakes and setbacks. What separates the winners is not the absence of failure, but their ability to learn from it and keep building. Remember, every setback is an opportunity to strengthen your foundation. You may also face criticism or doubt from others. People who don't believe in themselves often try to discourage those who do. But as the architect of your future, you must surround yourself with people who support your vision and encourage your growth. Seek mentors, learn from those who have built successful lives, and let their wisdom guide you. It's easy to get distracted by day-to-day demands or immediate pleasures, but the architect always keeps their eye on the long-term goal. You must do the same. Prioritize what matters most and invest your energy in activities that build toward your future. Time spent on your future self is never wasted. In the end, you have a choice. You can let life happen to you, or you can happen to life. You can be a passive observer, or you can be the active creator. You are the architect. Your future is your design. What kind of life do you want to build? Remember, the blueprints you draw today determine the life you live tomorrow. So take up your pen, plan carefully, and start building. Your future is waiting. Make it a master. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That statement may sound simple, but it carries a weight of truth that can transform your life if you fully understand it and apply it. Too often, people set big, ambitious goals, dreams of success, wealth, happiness, or impact, but then fail to achieve them because they lack the discipline to follow through. Goals are like destinations on a map. Discipline is the vehicle that will get you there. Without it, those destinations remain just wishes and ideas. Setting goals is important. It gives you direction, a target to aim for. But goals alone won't bring success. Anyone can set a goal. The challenge is in the daily grind, the consistent, often unglamorous work that turns goals into reality. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when distractions pull at you, and when obstacles arise. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. The seeds represent the goal, but planting seeds is only the beginning. The farmer must water them regularly, protect them from pests, and patiently wait for them to grow. Discipline is the farmer's dedication to this daily care. Without discipline, the seeds never become a harvest. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means committing to your priorities, creating habits that support your goals, and showing up day after day. It means resisting short-term temptations that pull you off course. It means managing your time and energy with purpose. Many people confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is a feeling, often fleeting. Discipline is a decision made again and again that you will keep moving forward regardless of how you feel. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's the difference between a flash of inspiration and sustained progress. Discipline also requires planning and preparation. You must know what actions will move you toward your goals, then schedule them into your day. If you wait to act until you feel like it, your progress will be inconsistent at best. But if you create routines and systems, you make success a habit rather than a chance event. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start with small commitments. Wake up a little earlier, read for 15 minutes a day, or dedicate time to exercise. Over time, these small acts of discipline build momentum and confidence. As your discipline grows, so does your ability to tackle bigger challenges and pursue larger goals. The bridge of discipline can sometimes feel long and difficult. There will be days when you want to quit or take shortcuts. That's normal. But remember, the people who achieve greatness are not those who never face difficulty. They are those who choose to persevere through it. Discipline gives you the grit to keep going when the easy path tempts you to stop. Another important aspect of discipline is accountability. When you hold yourself accountable, you reinforce your commitment. Tell others about your goals. Find a mentor or a friend who can encourage you and keep you on it. Accountability turns discipline from a lonely struggle into a supported journey. Discipline also helps you manage distractions and focus your energy. We live in a world full of interruptions from technology, social media, and endless entertainment. Without discipline, it's easy to get pulled in 100 directions and lose sight of what matters most. Discipline creates boundaries around your time and attention, so you can concentrate on high-value activities. Keep in mind that discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent over time. You will make mistakes. You will have off days. What matters is that you get back on track quickly, and don't let setbacks derail your progress. The bridge of discipline is built plank by plank, one day at a time. When you build your life on the foundation of discipline, you gain freedom. This might sound paradoxical, but discipline frees you from chaos, procrastination, and regret. It gives you control over your choices and helps you create the life you desire. Instead of being a slave to impulses, you become the master of your destiny. Remember this: the distance between where you are now and where you want to be is crossed by the bridge of discipline. That bridge requires effort, commitment, and sacrifice. But every step you take brings you closer to accomplishment. So ask yourself today, what goals have you set that are still waiting to be realized? What small act of discipline can you commit to right now that will move you forward? It might be as simple as writing down your priorities, making a call, or spending time learning a new skill. Whatever it is, take that step, because when discipline becomes your daily practice, your goals will no longer be distant dreams. They will be your reality. And that, my friend, is the secret to lasting success. Learning to say no is one of the most important skills you can develop if you want to reclaim your time and create the future you desire. It sounds simple, yet it is one of the hardest things to do for many people. Saying no often feels uncomfortable because we worry about disappointing others, missing opportunities, or appearing uncooperative. But the truth is, every time you say yes to something unimportant or distracting, you are saying no to something far more valuable: your priorities, your goals, your future. Think of your time and energy as a limited bank account. Every yes you give is a withdrawal from that account. If you spend your resources on things that don't align with your values and goals, you will quickly find yourself bankrupt when it comes to the things that matter most. Saying no is not about rejecting people or opportunities. It's about protecting your most precious asset: your time. Most people fall into the trap of being too agreeable. They say yes out of habit, out of fear of confrontation, or because they want to be liked. But if you don't take control and set boundaries, you'll end up overwhelmed and overcommitted. Your calendar will fill with obligations that drain your energy and pull you away from your vision. Saying no is the key to creating space for what truly matters. When you say no, you give yourself permission to say yes to your highest priorities. You make room for activities that build your future, deepen your relationships, and nourish your well-being. You focus your energy on what moves the needle in your life. This is how winners operate. They are selective about where they invest their time and attention. Learning to say no also means learning to evaluate requests through the lens of your goal. Before you agree to anything, ask yourself, is this going to bring me closer to what I want to achieve? If the answer is no, or even maybe, it's wise to decline or defer. Don't let guilt or pressure force you into commitments that don't serve your purpose. Saying no can feel like a sacrifice at first, especially if you're used to always saying yes. You might worry about burning bridges or missing opportunity. But the reality is that people who respect themselves and their time earn more respect from others. When you clearly communicate your boundaries, people learn to value your time and will often respect your decisions. It's important to remember that saying no doesn't have to be rude or hard. It can be done with kindness and respect. You can say something like, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I won't be able to commit right now. Or thank you for the opportunity, but my current priorities require my full attention. Being honest and clear about your limitations is actually a form of professionalism. Also, by saying no to distractions, you create the mental space to say yes to creativity, growth, and productivity. When your mind isn't cluttered with obligations that don't matter, you have more energy to focus on the things that do. Your decisions become sharper, your work more effective, and your life more fulfilling. Think about how often you say yes to things out of obligation rather than desire. How often do you find yourself drained at the end of the day, wishing you had more time for your own dreams? That's a clear sign that you need to practice saying no. Saying no is a form of self-respect and self-care. It's not selfish, it's necessary for success and well-being. Another reason to learn the power of no is that it helps you avoid the trap of being busy without being productive. Too many people confuse being busy with being successful. They fill their schedules with meetings, errands, and low-value tasks that leave them exhausted but don't move them forward. Saying no helps you avoid this trap and keeps you focused on high-impact activities. When you start protecting your yes by saying no more often, you'll notice a shift in your energy and focus. You'll be less overwhelmed, less stressed, and more in control of your time. Your days will have more purpose and direction. And as you create this discipline around your time, you'll find that your future starts to take shape more clearly and powerfully. Remember, every no you say is a seed planted for your future success. It may seem small at the moment, but these small decisions accumulate over time to create a life of intention, achievement, and satisfaction. So don't be afraid to say no. Protect your time fiercely, guard your energy carefully, and watch how your yes becomes more meaningful and powerful than ever before. Prioritizing high-value activities is one of the most important habits you can develop if you want to reclaim your time and create the future you envision. Too many people fill their days with tasks that keep them busy, but don't move them closer to their goals. They focus on what's urgent but not important. And as a result, they end the day feeling exhausted but not accomplished. The key to success is learning to distinguish between activities that add real value and those that simply consume your time and energy. Think of your time as a limited resource, like a pie that can only be sliced into so many pieces. Each activity you choose to do takes a slice of that pie. If you spend most of your slices on low-value tasks, you won't have enough left for the things that truly matter. High-value activities are those that directly contribute to your long-term goals, your personal growth, and your well-being. They are the tasks that create momentum and bring meaningful results. The problem is that many people don't know how to identify high-value activities. They get caught in a cycle of reacting to emails, answering calls, attending meetings that don't move the needle, or running errands that could be delegated. These tasks might feel urgent, but they rarely have lasting impact. High-value activities require discipline, because they often don't come with immediate rewards or external pressure. They are the things you must choose to do because you understand their importance, not because someone else demands them. To prioritize high-value activities, start by defining your key goals. What are the most important things you want to accomplish in your personal and professional life? Once you have clear goals, you can evaluate your daily tasks through the lens of those goals. Ask yourself, does this task bring me closer to my goal? If the answer is no, consider whether it needs to be done at all or if it can be delegated or postponed. Another helpful approach is to use the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle suggests that 20% of your activities will produce 80%. The challenge is to identify which 20% of your work is high value and focus your energy there. Instead of trying to do everything, focus on doing the few things that have the greatest impact. One way to implement this is by planning your day around your highest value tasks first. Early in the day, when your energy and focus are at their peak, tackle the activities that require the most brain power or creativity. By prioritizing these tasks, you set the tone for the rest of the day and ensure that your most important work gets done. It's also important to recognize the role of habits in prioritizing high-value activity. Successful people don't rely on motivation alone. They create routines that automatically guide them to their priorities. For example, setting aside a specific time each morning for reading, planning, or skill development can make a huge difference. Over time, these habits build on each other and create exponential growth. Avoiding distractions is another crucial part of prioritizing high-value activities. We live in a world full of interruptions, from smartphones buzzing with notifications to open office environments. These distractions pull you away from your focus and dilute the time you spend on important tasks. Discipline yourself to minimize interruptions by turning off notifications, setting boundaries around your work time, or creating a dedicated workspace where you can concentrate. Delegation is another powerful tool to prioritize high-value activity. If you find yourself spending time on low-value tasks that someone else can do, delegate those tasks. This frees you up to focus on what only you can do. The tasks that require your unique skills, knowledge, and decision-making. Remember, prioritizing high-value activities is not about doing more. It's about doing better. It's about making intentional choices with your time that lead to growth, progress, and fulfillment. When you prioritize what truly matters, you reduce stress because you're no longer trying to do everything at once. Instead, you have clarity, focus, and confidence that your efforts are making a difference. Over time, this focus on high-value activities compounds. The small, consistent actions you take add up to major achievements. Your skills improve, your network expands, and your opportunities multiply. You create a future that is not left to chance, but built on deliberate, effective action. In the end, your success is the sum of your priorities. What you choose to focus on today shapes your tomorrow. So take the time to evaluate your activities. Be ruthless in eliminating low-value distractions, and commit to spending your time on what truly counts. When you do this, you don't just reclaim your time, you reclaim your life. You move from being busy to being productive, from overwhelmed to in control, and from drifting to designing the future you want. Prioritize high-value activities and watch how your world changes. Consistency is key to momentum and success. That simple truth is often overlooked in the rush to achieve great things quickly. People want fast results, instant gratification, and overnight success. But the reality is that most meaningful accomplishments are the result of steady, persistent effort over time. Consistency is what transforms small actions into big results, turning ideas into reality and dreams into achievements. Think about a river carving through rock. It's not the force of one big splash that creates the canyon, but the steady flow of water day after day, year after year. Consistency and effort, no matter how small, has the power to shape your life and your future in profound ways. It builds momentum, and momentum is the force that propels you forward when motivation wavers or challenges arise. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting for the perfect moment to start. They wait for motivation, inspiration, or ideal conditions, thinking that's when they will be able to act consistently. But the truth is, consistency doesn't come from motivation. It comes from discipline and commitment. You don't need to feel ready. You need to be willing. Consistency means showing up every day, putting in the work, and doing what you said you would do, even when it's hard, boring, or inconvenient. It's about making a promise to yourself and keeping it, no matter what distractions or obstacles come your way. The simple act of being consistent builds character, resilience, and self-trust. When you are consistent, you create habits. Habits are the automatic behaviors that don't require constant willpower or motivation. They become part of your routine and make success easier to achieve. Imagine brushing your teeth. You don't think about it, you just do it. That's the power of habits, built through consistency. If you apply that same principle to your goals, you turn hard work into second nature. Consistency also helps you avoid the yo-yo effect. Starting strong, then losing steam, then starting again, and so on. This stop and start cycle wastes energy and prevents real progress. Instead, by committing to consistency, you build steady momentum that carries you forward, even when enthusiasm fades. Another important benefit of consistency is that it provides feedback and learning. When you commit to regular action, you gain experience and insight. You learn what works and what doesn't, and you can adjust your approach. Without consistency, you never get enough data to improve. With it, you develop mastery. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You will have days when you slip up or fall short. That's part of being human. What matters is getting back on track quickly and continuing your effort. The goal is progress, not perfection. Every small step forward adds up over time. Consider the story of the bamboo tree, which spends years growing its roots underground before shooting up rapidly. You don't see the growth at first, but the consistent effort during those unseen years builds a foundation for explosive success. Your progress might be slow at first, but if you keep going, your momentum will build and success will follow. Consistency also builds credibility and trust with others. When people see that you are reliable and persistent, they are more likely to support you, offer opportunities, and believe in your potential. Whether in business, relationships, or personal goals, consistency is a sign of integrity and professionalism. To develop consistency, start by setting clear, realistic goals and breaking them into manageable daily actions. Create routines that support these actions and track your progress. Use reminders, accountability partners, or journals to stay on course. Celebrate small wins to keep your motivation alive. Remember, success is rarely a dramatic event. It's the outcome of many small, consistent actions taken over time. When you commit to consistency, you build a force that can overcome obstacles, outlast distractions, and push you through tough times. In conclusion, if you want to reclaim your time and create your future, embrace consistency as your ally. Show up every day, do the work, and keep moving forward. Momentum will build, your skills will grow, and your goals will come within reach. The bridge between dreams and reality is paved with consistent effort. Make that your foundation, and success will be inevitable. Embracing adaptability is one of the most vital qualities you can develop if you want to reclaim your time and create the future you desire. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances change, markets shift, technologies evolve, and new challenges arise without warning. If you hold rigidly to one way of thinking or one plan, you risk being left behind or caught off guard. Adaptability is the ability to bend without breaking, to adjust your course while keeping your eyes on your goals. It is the quality that allows you to thrive in the face of uncertainty and seize new opportunities as they appear. Many people resist change because it feels uncomfortable. They want stability and control, and the unknown threatens that. But the truth is, change is inevitable. It's the one constant you can count on. The question is not if you will face change, but how you will respond to it. Those who embrace adaptability turn change into a powerful ally rather than a disruptive force. Adaptability requires a mindset shift. Instead of fearing change, you learn to welcome it as a chance to grow, learn, and improve. When something unexpected happens, instead of reacting with frustration or defeat, you ask, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust to make the most of this situation? This kind of flexible thinking opens doors to new possibilities. One of the keys to adaptability is continuous learning. When you commit to lifelong learning, you equip yourself to handle whatever comes your way. Knowledge expands your options. Skills development keeps you competitive. Curiosity keeps you engaged. The more you learn, the more adaptable you become, because you have a wider range of tools to solve problems and navigate change. Adaptability also means being willing to change your plans without losing sight of your purpose. Your goals don't have to change, but the path to reach them often does. When you stay rigid, you may miss better routes or new opportunities. Being adaptable means adjusting your methods, strategies, and even your mindset to fit the current reality, while keeping your end goal in focus. Flexibility in action includes being open to feedback and willing to make corrections. Sometimes we get stuck in habits or beliefs that no longer serve us. Adaptability requires humility to recognize when a change is necessary. It requires courage to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. When you embrace feedback and are willing to pivot, you become stronger and more effective. In a world that is changing faster than ever before, adaptability is a competitive advantage. Businesses that adapt quickly survive and thrive, while those that resist change fall behind. The same is true for individuals. Your ability to adapt can determine your success in your career, relationships, and personal growth. Another aspect of adaptability is resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from setbacks. Life will knock you down at times. Adaptability means not only changing your plans, but also bouncing back emotionally and mentally. It means maintaining a positive attitude and the belief that you can overcome challenges. This resilience is built by embracing change rather than resisting it. Adaptability also enhances creativity. When you're flexible, you are open to new ideas, new perspectives, and new solutions. This openness leads to innovation. It helps you find creative ways to solve problems and seize opportunities that others may miss because they are stuck in old ways of thinking. To cultivate adaptability, start by becoming aware of your current mindset about change. Are you resisting or welcoming? Practice seeing change as an opportunity rather than a threat. Develop the habit of asking, what can I control in this situation? What is my next best step? This shifts your focus from what's lost or unknown to what's possible. Stay curious and keep learning. Read books, attend seminars, seek mentors, and expose yourself to new experiences. The more you expand your knowledge and skills, the more equipped you are to adjust and grow. Be willing to experiment and take risks. Adaptability doesn't mean being passive. It means being proactive in seeking better ways forward. When you try new approaches, you learn what works and what doesn't. Each experiment builds your ability to adapt successfully. Finally, surround yourself with adaptable people. Community matters. When you are around others who embrace change and growth, you are encouraged and inspired to do the same. They can provide support, ideas, and feedback that help you stay flexible and forward-moving. In summary, adaptability is not just a survival skill. It is a growth strategy. It allows you to navigate change gracefully and seize opportunities that would otherwise pass you by. When you embrace adaptability, you reclaim control over your life's direction, no matter what changes come your way. By being flexible in your thinking and actions, you create a future that is not limited by the past or present circumstances, but is shaped by your ability to evolve and thrive. This is how you take charge of your time and create a future filled with possibility, growth, and success.